Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Jumpa lagi kita dalam Lisa Talk Stuff. So hari ni ada Kurt bersama saya.
Thank you so much, honey, for having me. I'm a special guest today on Lisa Talk Stuff.
Sebab kita hari ni kita nak bercakap tentang our experience during pregnancy, challenges and difficulty. Kita akan cakap lah mengenai difficulty dan juga complication ke sepanjang saya pregnant lah. Bukan semua pregnancy perfect macam yang kita imagine. Setiap orang ada challenges masing-masing, termasuklah kami sendiri.
Even though we do our fun videos and we post our nice things, that not everything is 100% perfect.
Right.
We want to show you that behind the scenes of our nice and fun videos, that these things happen to us too.
Walaupun nampak macam kita happy je sepanjang saya pregnant, tapi sebenarnya ada kisah di sebalik itu. So hari ni lah kita akan share semua. Kalau sesiapa perasan, masa tengok kita post video yang saya buat surprise dekat Kurt kan, masa tu ada cerita di sebalik surprise itu. Dia start masa tu saya miss my period, and then of course lah Kurt pun macam dapat tahulah saya miss period kan. So macam kita orang dah dapat agak macam pregnant ke, tapi tak sure, we not sure yet. And then berlakulah spotting.
Right, so usually when conception occurs, it's normal for a woman to have a little bit of spot bleeding. So you might see maybe a couple of drops of blood.
Right. Tapi over time, dalam beberapa hari jugalah, spotting tu agak macam dia tak macam normal punya bleeding, macam period. The bleeding tu macam makin heavy, makin teruk.
So the bleeding, it wouldn't come all the time. You know, Lisa maybe would go for 3 or 4 days and there wouldn't be anything. But then all of a sudden she would have a lot down there.
Yeah, but you thought it was period.
You had missed your period for like 2 or 3 weeks. And we thought you were pregnant because you didn't have your period. We thought maybe it would be something was wrong if you were pregnant, but we weren't sure because it could be the possibility that her period did finally come and maybe she wasn't pregnant.
Right.
So it was hard for us. It was a little confusing. Then that's when we started to get a little bit worried.
Right. Tapi kita orang macam worried lah. Nak apa kan, macam tak sure kan. Tapi pregnancy test pun tak buat lagi. So masa tu saya pergilah farmasi.
Right, you wanted to do a nice surprise for me, right?
Yeah, I went there alone.
We wanted to confirm the pregnancy, but if it was positive, she wanted to do a nice surprise for me.
Yeah.
So rather than us going to the pharmacy together and buying the test together, you went all by yourself.
Yes. Tapi masa tu macam tak sure kan, tak sure saya pregnant ataupun tak. So saya pun senyap-senyap lah pergi ke farmasi beli pregnancy test. So saya beli 2 sebab nak confirm kan betul-betul. Tapi Kurt tak tahu. Kurt tak tahu pun saya beli. So saya buat test senyap-senyap, bangun pagi subuh tu buat test, and then it turned out positive.
Right, yeah. So we found out she was really pregnant.
Right, but only me know that time.
Yeah. So you told me you had ordered something to do like a nice little, you know, make it like memorable and meaningful.
Tapi masa tu macam belilah, ada order online tapi tak sampai lagi. Tapi sebab masa tu bleeding, saya pun macam tak tahulah nak bagi tahu ke sebab kena pergi check up lah kan, sebab bahaya. Tapi at the same time barang surprise tu tak sampai lagi. So macam a little bit macam macam mana apa nak buat kan.
It didn't post quickly.
No.
Right. So I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks. You were worried that whole time.
Right.
Because, you know, she was still experiencing the bleeding. So from my perspective, you know, I was still thinking how I originally had thought, like, oh, maybe her period had just came late. But Lisa, you know, secretly on the inside, you were very concerned because the pregnancy confirmed positive. It was even more challenging for you. Right, you could not wait any longer.
Yes, sebab worried. I was so worried. because sebab bleeding kan. So macam kita kena pergi check up lah as soon as possible. Of course lah saya kena bagi tahu Kurt. So masa lepas buat pregnancy test tu, dalam beberapa hari lepas tu dah cakap macam tak boleh tunggu lama. And then I decided to just surprise you lah that morning.
And of course it was still so special. Like I love the way you told me and surprised me. You may have watched our previous video. We posted our first reactions when Lisa had given me the positive pregnancy tests.
Yeah.
Honey, oh my gosh, honey.
I told you.
Baby.
I did twice.
You will notice that when she gives me the pregnancy tests, she was crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because it was, you were crying because we were very happy.
Happy.
We were very excited, like, alhamdulillah, she's pregnant.
Right.
It was a very happy time for us. But you were also crying because you were still very concerned about the bleeding, if it would hurt the baby. So it was like a mixed emotion.
Right. Lepas je bagi tahu dia, terus kita pergi check up, right?
Right. Yeah. So we knew right away that we had to go get checked up.
Yes. So teruslah pergi kat hospital berdekatan ni, Hospital Salam. Jumpa doktor pakar. And then doktor pakar pun check lah, dia scan perut. And doktor cakap ada heartbeat, baby okay. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. So the first ultrasound, that was the first time we saw the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So confirmed pregnancy, memang like. Alhamdulillah, we could see the baby macam kacang kecil. And we could hear the heartbeat. Alhamdulillah. So we knew that
so relieved.
So relieved, yes. But we still knew that we had to figure out the problem. Why were you bleeding more than you should have been?
Right. Masa doktor scan tu, doktor bagi tahulah, dia tanya saya, pernah buat check up tak sebelum ni? Saya cakap lah tak pernah buat seumur hidup, memang saya tak pernah buat pun. And then dia cakap sebenarnya awak ada fibroid. Fibroid tu sebenarnya mostly semua women ada sebenarnya. Tapi atas bahaya ataupun tak bahaya je. Tapi selalunya tak bahaya lah. Dia tak affect the baby pun, tak affect fertility pun. So what is fibroid, baby?
Right, so fibroid, if you are not familiar with that, a fibroid is a non-cancerous growth inside or around the womb.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon. It's not rare. It happens to many women, even if they're not pregnant. So we found out that the bleeding had been caused by the fibroid that was growing near the baby.
Related lah, ada relationship dengan fibroid tu yang menyebabkan bleeding. I remember the doctor said the fibroid does not affect the baby's growth.
Right.
Kalau tengok kan macam womb perempuan macam tu kan, so dekat fibroid saya letak dekat atas. Which is, tapi kalau fibroid tu duduk dekat laluan baby, which is the baby scan, that one is dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it can
get in the way of the baby passing through easily.
Yeah, during delivery.
Right, so the doctors found that the fibroid, it was not in the position where it would block the baby during delivery, so alhamdulillah for that.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
The fibroid, even though the position wasn't as dangerous as it possibly could have been, it still created a risk for the baby.
Right.
At that time, there was nothing that the doctors could do. We just had to basically wait and be patient and see if the fibroid would clear up all by itself. The doctors told us that, over time, the fibroid will kind of shrink and go back to normal.
Yeah, it's possible. So, lepas doktor check yang saya ada fibroid, and then doktor bagilah advice, suruh saya rest, bedridden. Tak boleh buat angkat berat, tak boleh buat kerja-kerja berat apa semua. So doktor pun adalah nasihat Kurt juga untuk elakkan saya lah buat benda-benda berat. Rasanya for 2 weeks I need to rest.
Right.
And untuk saya capai masuk second trimester. Sebab masa first trimester tu lah saya kena jaga betul-betul sebab kandungan still fragile.
The most riskiest time for the baby is the first trimester.
So masa tu doktor siap bagilah MC kan, tak boleh buat kerja. Maknanya kena MC 2 minggu masa tu. Tapi masa tu alhamdulillah masa tu saya work from home. So dapatlah saya rehat sampailah masuk trimester kedua.
So at that point we were doing everything that we could to support and encourage the baby staying healthy. Right, so Lisa took the rest that she needed. For me, I wanted to do anything I possibly could to support her and make sure it was easier for her.
So, masa tu juga doktor ada bagi Dufaston.
Dufaston, betul.
Dufaston tu fungsi dia untuk mengukuhkan rahim lah, macam untuk help the baby. So for those lah, kalau macam pregnant nanti, kalau macam ada bleeding ke apa kan, usually doktor memang akan bagi Dufaston lah. Orang panggil obat kuat rahim, kalau orang Malay punya term.
Right.
So alhamdulillah sangat-sangat saya ambil habis lah, sampai habis Dufaston tu, and then bleeding pun dah stop.
Yeah, it eventually stopped. I think you still experienced some heavy bleeding a few more times.
Right.
But eventually, it just went away completely.
Yes.
And then with future checkups, we just continued to confirm that the baby was healthy and everything was okay. So
everything
alhamdulillah
okay,
for that.
Alhamdulillah.
That was a big scare for us, honey.
Yeah, but we made it.
Yeah, baby. So grateful for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you made it into your second trimester where the baby starts becoming stronger, is more stability for the baby.
Lepas dah okay apa semua, so masa tu government cakap pregnant woman boleh ambil vaksin. So masa tu macam still kita orang macam discuss lah.
Right.
Okay ke ambil vaksin kan?
Yeah. So of course a very difficult situation for everyone is COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
We had to make the decision whether or not Lisa should receive the vaccine or not.
Yeah.
Although the vaccine has been studied and tested and the companies say that there isn't any risk for pregnant women, you still remembered going online and seeing some women that had chosen to get the vaccine during their pregnancy, they were experiencing some complications.
Right. Agak berdebar lah juga. Macam tanya orang kan. Jadi orang pun cakap macam macam kalau boleh hold dulu, dia kata. Tapi itulah macam kita fikir juga baby kan. Macam nanti fikir kat diri kita sendiri juga. Kalau in case kan, kita tak tahu apa jadi in the future. So lepas discuss dengan Kurt, and Kurt pun memang encourage me to get the vaccine.
Right. So just a quick background about myself. My degree from the US is biochemistry, and I studied immunology for 1 year, all the way up until the master's level. So I'm very familiar with how a vaccine works and the risks and the precautions involved and the potential for it to save lives and prevent the disease. So we had to, take all those things into consideration, and we went online and we did a little bit more researching, a little bit more reading. Of course, we're going to, take some time and go jalan-jalan. We're gonna, want to go out and maybe dine in somewhere with the baby. Even if we're seeing family and friends, there's still a risk there. So we imagine, the baby coming and then having to be worried, and the risk of going out and possibly being exposed to the virus with the baby unvaccinated was greater than any risk that could possibly happen from getting the vaccine during your pregnancy. We didn't want the baby to be unprotected coming into the new world. At that point, I was comfortable that you could get the vaccine safely. So I had spoken about these things with Lisa, and I encouraged her to move forward and get the vaccine. So we were scared about that.
So masa tu saya dah 16 minggu. So vaksin boleh diambil oleh pregnant woman bila dia dah capai 14 weeks and above. So masa tu saya rasa saya dah 16 minggu lah. So boleh lah untuk dapatkan vaksin tu. So Alhamdulillah memang saya dapat lah dua dos, complete dose.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
And we spoke to the doctor too. We got the advice from the doctor whether she should receive the vaccine, and memang the doctor encouraged kita boleh dapat vaksin.
Boleh je.
Right.
So saya encourage lah semua wanita-wanita hamil yang sedang mengandung, pastikan anda dapat vaksin.
Yes. Yeah, so now we are both vaccinated. The baby will have some of the antibodies that comes from Lisa being vaccinated, and you can also pass those antibodies through breastfeeding the baby also. So it makes us feel a lot more comfortable knowing that the baby will arrive in the world and have that level of protection against the pandemic.
Yeah. So, lepas saya dapat second dose tu, saya lepas 7 hari 7 days after saya dapat second dose.
Yes.
Masa tu saya dah start demam. And I thought it was just post-vaccine effect.
Yeah, so wait, what? So we were comfortable about getting the vaccine, but then after getting your second dose, you started experiencing fever, body aches.
Body ache. Memang teruk agak lah. Memang teruk demam tu. It's very bad fever.
It was, yeah.
Masa tu yelah, kita macam ingatkan macam efek vaksin je kan. Sebab semua orang cakap okay, lepas beberapa hari okay balik kan. Tapi after 3 days after 3 days fever still ada.
Yeah, so after getting the vaccine, it's normal and common for you to have a little bit of side effect.
Yeah.
Right? So we kind of thought like, okay, maybe it's just your body reacting to developing the immune cells from the vaccine.
Yeah.
So we expected, okay, maybe a little bit of fever and how she was feeling, body aches, and then it would, go away after a couple of days after your body had adjusted. It got worse.
It got worse.
So we were like, oh no, this isn't good. We should go get the baby checked again.
So so kita pergi ke emergency hospital.
Emergency.
Hospital emergency.
We went to the clinic
first, tapi it's not helpful. Dia cakap macam tak ada apa-apa. So macam, tapi kita orang still macam risau for the baby tu.
Right. They sent us home and just told us to rest.
Right.
And,
nothing.
So at that point, for the next 1 to 2 days, Lisa was still feeling very bad.
Yes.
What I tried to do was we bought the fever patches.
Cool fever,
yeah. And I went to the pharmacy and I bought the gel pack. So we kept that in the freezer, in the refrigerator, so it was nice and cold. So that helped a little bit. It would kind of ease the discomfort from that. It would cool you down a little bit. And we also spoke to the doctor, and the doctors approved pregnant women for taking a little bit of PCM to reduce the fever also. So you took a little bit of PCM
Panadol.
Sometimes you would take a cool shower also to kind of reduce it, and you would feel a little bit better, but then a couple hours later the fever would spike again.
Yes, so bad. Lepas keesokan harinya demam still tak surut. So saya cakap kat Kurt, okay, jomlah kita pergi ke hospital emergency.
Yes.
So masa tu dah tak boleh tahan dah, memang teruk lah demam. And then kita pergi emergency, doktor tanya apa semua tu, dia tanya soalan lah. And then doktor shock UTI, dia cakap kat saya tu. And then masa tu doktor dah cakap, okay, admit lah, dia nak admit.
Yes. So the UTI they found was severe. A UTI is a urinary tract infection.
Ataupun dalam bahasa Malay, kencing kotor.
Oh, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Kencing kotor. Usually some of the symptoms that come with UTI are like what you had, fever, body aches.
Yes.
But also a main symptom with the UTI is you have a burning sensation. You have a burning feeling when you go shishi.
Yes.
You did not have that.
I did not.
Right. So what we thought was the side effects from the vaccine, because you only had, fever and body aches, was actually being caused from the UTI infection, and we didn't know.
So rupanya kalau kita tak rasa burning tak rasa perik bila kencing tu pun sebenarnya boleh jadi UTI juga. Sebab saya kiranya doktor cakap kalau dah demam tu kiranya dah UTI, memang dah teruk, agak teruk lah sebenarnya. So jangan tunggu demam. Kalau dah rasa macam burning, macam painful masa kita kencing tu, terus pergi hospital, tak payah tunggu. Sebab kalau kita tunggu, kuman boleh naik ke kidney and then akan boleh menyebabkan sakit buah pinggang lah.
And they kept you for 4 days.
Yes.
Yeah, 4 hari duduk dalam hospital.
Memang pengalaman yang agak dahsyat lah dekat hospital sebab memang suhu 40 degree Celsius, baby.
Very dangerous.
Yes, very dangerous for the baby too.
Yeah, high fever.
Masa kat hospital, doktor pun dia check up baby juga. Alhamdulillah baby okay je.
Yes.
Cuma baby jadi tak aktif lah sebab mami sakit kan.
Yeah, they gave you antibiotic in the hospital to cure your infection. It was about, I think, 2.5 days before your fever started coming down and her symptoms started becoming more stable.
And then dia masuk air juga.
Yeah, the whole time they had you connected to the IV.
Right.
Bagi fluids, bagi intravenous antibiotic.
Lepas 4 hari duduk hospital, alhamdulillah lah, macam hari last day tu fever dah macam berkurang. And then doktor cakap lah, okay, saya dah boleh discharge. And then tapi still kena continue antibiotik juga.
Yes.
And then doktor ada bagi Ural untuk treat UTI. And also doktor bagi garam NaCl. Electrolyte.
Yeah, so that was because you were dehydrated. So a UTI is actually very common for pregnant women.
Yeah, even not pregnant women also.
Yeah, true. But there's a higher risk of UTI when you're pregnant because when the baby is growing, it traps the bacteria in those areas, which can lead to the infection. So it's important that even if you get like a little bit of a fever or if you don't feel very well, you should go get checked.
Go get checked out.
All right, and the last challenge that we want to speak about is
emotion.
Pregnancy is a very emotional time for a woman.
Saya pun tak tahulah kenapa jadi emotional sangat lepas pregnant ni. Alhamdulillah lah Kurt ni dia bersabar.
Oh babe. So during pregnancy, the changes that are happening inside a woman's body can, cause her to be a little more emotional than normal. For example, I remember there was one night that we were busy and we didn't get to eat dinner like around the normal time. It was around maybe like 11 or 12 at night and she was hungry and had a craving, so we went out and we tried to get the food, but the food places were closed and you weren't able to, eat from where you wanted to. That was hard for you because I remember you were very emotional about that. She started crying. So we had to eat at home that night. So men and husbands out there, I want to encourage you to, have that little bit extra level of patience and always support your wife. Sometimes myself, maybe I might be a little bit stricter about something. Maybe we'll just be talking about something or doing something and maybe I'll say something a certain way, like not bad or anything. But, normally Lisa, you wouldn't have any issue with it, or if we're having a discussion about something, but even just the way a man says something or speaks a certain way, that's enough to trigger an emotional response. From my perspective, I always just reminded myself to be extra gentle with your preggy wife. Be very patient. Maybe try and not be as strict as, sometimes other times. And just always support her and comfort her and understand that she is carrying your beautiful baby. You are going through that for your husband. You know, to bring this baby into the world.
So suami-suami di luar sana, pastikan bersabar dengan wife anda, terutamanya kalau wife anda sedang pregnant. Sebab masa tu lah kita nak tengok lelaki ni sayang tahap mana kat kita, macam tu.
Yeah, so men, just take a look in the mirror and just remind yourself,
Kita carry his baby.
right, always try and fulfill her Preggy cravings.
Saya ingat lagi masa tu, saya craving sangat olive.
Yeah, olive.
Olive.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Masa tu kita buat lah, kita order lah pizza. Sebab pizza Domino's kan ada olive. Masa tu buat self pick up, order online. Tapi tak tahulah macam mana kita orang terorder pizza yang tak ada olive.
I think we had a disagreement about which pizza to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, just get one of those ones. That's what I was in the mood for. And then you were in the mood for a different one.
Yeah.
You got the one with the olives, and then when we got to pick up the pizza, it was a different one. Yeah, so it did not have the olives.
Memang menangis lah cerita dia. Sebab memang nak sangat-sangat makan olive malam tu. Lepas tu Kurt pun macam apa nak buat, macam dia senyap je. Dia macam diam je. Dia tengok je saya nangis kan. Lepas tu sampai kat Domino's tu,
I asked the Domino's guy. I said, boleh bagi olive dalam cawan?
dalam cawan dia minta. Lepas tu, tapi nasib baik lah, staff dia baik sangat kan.
Yeah,
dia
very
bagi
nice.
satu cup olive tu bagi for free je.
Yeah. So, lelaki Domino's, malam itu, terima kasih sangat sebab you saved me that night.
So saya pun happy lah dapat makan olive.
Oh, and then everything was better.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think that's all for, some of the things that we
Right.
experienced.
So tu sahajalah yang kita macam challenges lah yang kita hadapi kan as husband and wife for our first pregnancy
Right.
experience. Yeah.
And you never know what can still happen. There could be in the next month and a half, another challenge comes up.
Yeah.
So just inshallah, always just hope and pray that everything goes well. And we hope that everything goes well with you out there too during your pregnancies.
Yep.
And so please feel free to comment.
Yeah. Comment your experience if you have.
Yeah, we shared our experience. We would love to hear more about your experience also. If you feel comfortable telling us about some challenges or complications and difficulties that you may have gone through, please feel free to comment. We would love to hear from your side also.
Yeah. So terima kasih everyone for watching. And then thank you to you.
Thank you so much for having me, honey. All right, I'm Addy.
Okay, so don't forget to subscribe and comment and share your experience in the comment below.
Enjoy your pregnancies.
Yep.
It's a very special moment. Enjoy every little bit about it, the ups and even the downs
Yeah. So everybody stay safe. Sampai sini saja untuk Lisa Talk Stuff pada kali ini. Kita jumpa lagi in the next episode. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.
Bye. Assalamualaikum.